Sup guys, it's Leon13 again, and I'm trying something new this time. I decided to do some drawing tutorials. God, I need to write a script or something. Anyway, a lot of people have been asking me how I do art. Well, not really. There was only like one, but still, I'm going to do some tutorials to try and help you. Unfortunately, I'm not a professional artist, so none of this stuff is going to be that good. Still, it'll be useful if you're just beginning. So, let's see. What else was I gonna say? My my original preferred method was to draw stuff directly on paper, then scan it, and then trace over it in this program, which is called GIMP, the GNU Image Manipulation Program. It's completely free, so you, well, don't have to waste money on like Psy or anything like that, and it has some tools I find very reliable. But I also been recently practicing drawing directly in GIMP, and that's what we're going to do today. So first off, we go up to here, we select New. You can choose the size of the thing here. This'll do for serve us well for now. And we come to this thing, the background, of course. But now, first off, what I always do, I always add a new layer. We're going to name this one the support layer, because it's going to support us in aiding the drawing. For this drawing, we're going to draw a small anthropomorphic dragon, similar to the one from Similar to Spike from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Yes, I'm a fan of that show, sue me. Okay, so first off, we're going to add some support bases here to help us out. You click this tool up here, these are the circles. And this is going to be the head. Now, once you placed it there, head up here to edit and press stroke selection. You can choose the line width, I always go with 2. And that'll stroke it. You can't tell because it's still selected. While something like this is selected, you can't draw anything else, so it's always important to either... Well, normally you could click something else, but that doesn't work with the circle, so instead click here. Oh dear, I made it the wrong color. That's gonna be a tad distracting, but we'll work with it. I can't easily change the color, but I'm lazy, so... And now we're going to make one for the pelvis. I feel this is the easiest way to draw. Right about there. And stroke selection. And select none. There we go. Now we draw the little T line on the face. You know, that helps you tell where the eyes go, and along with the mouth and stuff. There's the horizontal line. Oh yes, I forgot to mention. You could use the brush and pencil to do this, but I find these hard because my hand goes flying all over the place. So instead, I use this tool, the path tool, because it allows you to make these nice lines, and it's real easy to use. This is the reason I prefer GIMP over Psy, because I'm not sure Psy has something like this. Okay, and this is our support layer. Nothing special, but it'll help us out in the long run. Now let's add a new layer. Let's type in dragon. This will be the dragon layer. Now to help differentiate this layer from the next one, I'm going to change the color to a different one. Blue. This is the gradient layer up here, in case you're wondering. We aren't using that right now. This will help us. We can change the color of this layer later, and I'll show you how to do that. But first, let's get back to business. First, we draw the head. Don't worry about adding like any facial features at the moment. We can add those in later. Okay, that's it. Jolly good. Forgive me if this is somewhat boring, but you know, it's just drawing. Nothing special. It isn't Red Faction. Okay, there's the head. Now for the front part of the neck. As I said, I'm still an amateur, and I really need to get mentorship from some good artist on how to do better stuff. There's the neck. Now let's do the chest. I'm really bad at drawing, like, abdomens and upper body chest and stuff, so I usually don't draw those. I just... Oh, and now... I was wondering if this would pop up. As you can see, this is one of the problems with GIMP. The only real problem I have with it. See this little gap here? Let's zoom in on that. It's not visible at distance, but it's visible there. Let's see. Yeah, this'll do. So let's stroke it. Oh, it actually stroked there. One of the problems with GIMP when I'm sometimes using the path tool is that there are random gaps in the path tool, and I don't know what causes them. I actually reported this to the people on Bugzilla, which is what GIMP uses for support, and they told me the problem had already been reported, and that was the end of that. Yeah, those are some really helpful support users. So anyway, that's the belly. Now we're going to draw the rear. That's right there. Now the back, I think. Actually, this rear looks a bit big. Let's scale it out. Don't worry if you have to go inside. We can erase this later. There, that looks a bit less freakish. Here's the back. I always draw it slanted like this. And here's the shoulder. And here's the neck, back part of the neck. Okay, good. Here's the main body. That's simple, right, isn't it? Okay, let's draw the eyes now. You could use the circle tool to draw the eyes, but I feel that's somewhat limited. I always try to draw them myself. It's easy with the path tool. You can just do this. And there we go. That's the left eye. Still need to work on how exactly the best way to space the eyes. Sometimes I feel they're too far apart, sometimes I feel they're too close, etc., etc. I always like drawing them diagonally like this too. Feel free to experiment with your own methods. Okay, we got the eyes. Now we draw the muzzle. There are a number of ways to draw the muzzle. The one Spike had was really small and barely went past his face, and his cheek was extruded past that. I tried using that, but I prefer using my own method. It's like this. Just slant it like that. And like this. This little thing drags the path marker. And there we go. It's not too fancy, but it looks cute. Now, when you need to erase, when you draw over something, you just simply use the eraser. I always like to use the hardness layer, and you can change the size of it. There might be better ways to do this, but if there is, please let me know. I'd be very helpful. Let's draw the nostril. That needs to be a bit more right. Oh, that looks good, actually. We'll do that. And the mouth. Again, I'm an amateur artist. Despite drawing for like, holy crap, I can't even know how long I've been drawing. Anyway, there's the mouth. Now, most dragons have horns, but some of the dragons like Spike only have like the fins on their head, and I'll show you the most common one I draw. First, we start with a line like this. And we move this up here. Really good. Here's the second half. It's a simple little fin like this. Still trying to discover new fins. I'm pretty limited in creating those. Let's erase that. Okay, that's the top fin. Some people add cheekbones, like right here, in this pattern, but whenever I do them, they look weird, so I avoid doing that. I rarely try new stuff because it always comes out horrible. That's probably why I'm still an amateur artist. We're going to draw a little spiky fin here. Okie dokie. And there, we got some fins. Now let's draw the part of the fin on this side, since it has the same fin on both sides. The middle part's hidden behind his muzzle, but we can still see the rest of it. There we go. Now for the eyes, the eyeballs, I mean. Unlike the outer eye, we can It's good to use these circle tools for the actual eyeballs. Just use your stroke tool. Remember to use select none, and so you can draw outside of it. If the eye goes outside a bit, it's no problem, just erase it. If you happen to erase something you don't want to erase, hang on, you can just use the path tool to fill it back in. Okay, now we got the pupils. Let's add the irises. I'm not too good at drawing irises. Most people, they just add another circle on the inside, but whenever I do that, it looks weird. Instead, I just do this. Not too detailed, but it's better than nothing. Okay. Got a simple eye pattern now. Now for the legs. We should have enough space for this. First, we start with the thigh. Most anthropomorphic creatures have thighs like this. Feel free to draw something better if you find it. And the toes. I think there are shortcuts that you can use to... Oh, right, and make sure to erase this. Erase the line of the thing in the background. You know what I'm talking about. Hopefully. I will say my greatest weakness is drawing legs and arms, so yeah, they're probably going to come out rotten, so feel free to seek better tutorials for that. There's the heel. There's the back part of the leg, and the thigh. There we go. The leg. Just erase the inside stuff. I'm using a different microphone. Forgive me if I'm a little loud. It's not a headset one, it's a fixed one, because the headset one jams my USB ports for some reason. I'm still trying to figure out what's causing that. I would use my voice changer so my voice would sound less hideous, but I'm not sure how to use it with OBS right now, so we're stuck with this. Okay, that's one leg. Now let's take a break from the legs and draw an arm. Actually, no, let's draw the tail first. I'm not too good at drawing tails either. I can only draw really basic ones. Just go down here like this. Curve it right there. And we have a long tail. It's not a good-looking tail, but it's better than nothing. I usually draw short tails, but we'll do a long one for this pic. Okay, now we can draw the arm. Let's see. My biggest weakness. All right, let's draw him waving. I used to draw arms really long, so try and make them short like this. Again, you're more than welcome to find better artists to draw this. I'm just drawing this for reference's sake. Here's the thumb. A lot of artists draw them with just 4 fingers, but I always like drawing them with 5 fingers because I'm a completionist. Although that doesn't stop me from ignoring the collectible orbs in Crackdown 2. God damn, I hate Crackdown 2. I hate all the Crackdown games. They suck. That freaking commander keeps bitching at you. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be cursing during this video. There might be children watching. Sorry! I'll have to put a warning in the video now. I'm not too good at drawing fingers either. Sorry about that. I really suck at arms. Here's the pinky. Let's draw the rest of the arm like this. And like that. And ta-da! A very crudely drawn arm. Let's erase this part here. Okay, we're halfway done. Let's just draw this second leg and the second arm, and then we can move on to others. Some detail. Just put the other leg right about here. Don't worry, we'll erase this part later. There's the leg and the shin and the toe. For the leg in the background, I always draw it aimed at the side, so only 2 of the toes are visible here. A lot of artists draw like that. Not sure if it's the best way to draw, but again, I'm still an amateur. Really good. And there, the second leg. Erase that. There we go, almost done. Now for the further, I always have trouble figuring out what to do with the arms, because I always want to show off the character's wardrobe, so I always have to have the arms in weird-ass positions. Sorry for cursing again. Anyway, let's see. For the other arm, we'll draw it on his hip of it. Looks like he's holding it on his hip, so we draw it like this. Like that. Almost there. There. Now let's draw a bit of his fingers. Like right here. I think that'll be his pinky. So it looks like it's resting on his hip. Okay, now we have the basic body strength. Also, make sure, whenever you're doing this, make sure to save often and save as an XCF file. Originally, GIMP couldn't save to XCF files, and it would have to merge all the layers together in order to save, but thankfully it doesn't do that anymore, so save frequently. Now for some spice. A lot of the dragons in the MLP verse have these scales that go up to their mouths like this. Well, actually, the ones Spike has go down to his mouth, but I always put them up here. Because I'm weird, like that. The scales go all the way down here. There we go. Once that's done, we can add some little segments in the scales. And there we go. Now for the tail. The tail has them as well. God, I really need to learn to draw better. Haven't been encountering that gap problem as much ever since I started directly drawing in GIMP. Maybe it has something to do with the scanned images I've been using. Let's add some segments here too. And there we go. We're pretty much done now. Now you may be wondering how to change the color of these, because we need to change these. Oh yeah, we can delete this layer now since we don't need it anymore. Just like delete layer and there. Now for this one, how do we change the colors of these? We need these lines black now. We could use the fill tool with the color black, but this makes them all blocky, so that's not the best way to do it. Instead, the best way to do it is to go to colors, go to colorize, and then set all of these to 0. And there, it's set to black. Now for the next part. If you're like me, you'll probably want to add some clothes to your character. And the best time to do this is before you color the character themselves, because if you color them, it's going to be hard to erase the line. But if it's just the outline, you only have a little bit of stuff to erase. So for example, let's try putting him in some undies. Here's the waistband. Oh, damn it, I forgot. Oh, sorry. Darn, I suck at this. Forgot to change the color. There's the waistband. Let's erase this. Jeez, how do people do this for a living? There are people who do this for a living. There's that drawing with Jerry guy who was on Mad TV. Here's the outline of the underwear. We can go ahead and draw it through the leg like this, because we can just erase that part. It's some pretty thick underwear, but who cares? He's a dragon. No one's gonna argue with him. He'll just set you on fire. Like Hendrix from Red faction. God rest his soul. He annoyed the living heck out of us, but he did help us nonetheless, so rest in peace, Hendrix. Okay, now we got that done. We can erase the interior. Jolly good. Gotta be careful with this eraser sometimes. Don't want to erase too much, otherwise it won't fill properly. There. Oh, right. I forgot the back part. There we go. Really hope this is recording. It would be a huge pain in the ass if OBS crashed or something. Okay. Now we drop the little leg hole. Here we go, and we draw these weird little band things. I don't know what they call them. Almost done. This does get tiring after a while, especially if you're like me and lose focus easily. That's why my books have taken a very long time to write. And there we go. Now he's modest, mostly. Okay, before we start coloring, I want to show you a little trick you can do. If you want to make like multiple color schemes or different costumes for the same character without redrawing them over and over again, here's how you do it. First, you get this rectangular select tool and you move it so you have the entire character, like this. Then you right-click, go to Edit, and Copy. Now we can move this selection over here, mostly. This canvas is a little small for it, but we'll just manage, I think. And we can click Edit, click Paste in Selection, and there. Oh, right, it's not anchored yet, so when you do this, it floats there for a second. And when you're satisfied with its position, just press this to anchor the floating layer. And now it's in there. It's overlapping a bit with our little dragon over here, but who cares? He's got a twin now. And then select None. Make a quick edit here real fast before we start coloring. Make the eraser super tiny. And there we go. That should help. Now here's the thing about coloring. You gotta be concerned about the threshold thing. Let's start. Oh yeah, you could also turn layers on and off too. So if you're coloring and you need to put white on there, but you're not sure what, if the background's white, it's hard to tell where you put white. So if we turn this off, there, now we can tell what's colored and what's not. Let's switch to white here. If the threshold is really low, anyway, as I was saying, most of the time, if the threshold's low, it won't color in these partially colored areas. So, oh yeah, and if you press Control Z, it automatically undoes it. You can also do that up here. See, while higher thresholds tend to get those areas. As you can see, it's not as blocked or whatever. You get the idea. Anyway, let's make the underwear white, little tidy whiteys. Give them some blue. It's kind of like that weird Pants Pankuro Japanese thing. That was weird. Not as weird as Shimajiro. Well, actually, it was kind of weirder than Shimajiro. Anyway, back to the drawing. Now, what color should we make his scales? Well, we'll worry about that in a sec. First, let's color the eyes. Always make that part white. Here's the pupils. Let's give him red eyes. He's a little demonic child dragon. All right, what's next? Make his primary scales randomized, closing my eyes, moving this around, and I'm going to choose this. Huh. Now that we can't do that with red eyes, let's do it again now. Now that's kind of... Screw it, let's just make him dark purple. He's a fan of Spyro. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice color. Make sure to get these little bits that are isolated. Now for his secondary scales, let's make those... let's make those gold. Goldish. Come on, stupid thing. This color thing isn't the best, but it's better than nothing. There we go. Oh, darn it, make sure you don't hit the lines, because it'll fully color the lines and everything they touch. So zoom right up in there. And there we have it. Our little dragon buddy. A little demonic dragon child who wanders around in his underwear. He's looking for his next victim so he can steal their souls or whatever. Okay. Now as a little bonus thing, let's show you how to make some cool backgrounds. If you want, we can use gradients right here, so it'll be something like this. I forgot to change the layer. Make sure you always change the layer, and you remember you can do the undo thing. Like background. We can make a rainbow gradient. We have a whole list here. You can also make your own gradients using these colors. And you can also make the dividers and stuff. It's really complicated, though. There are a bunch of tutorials showing you how to do stuff like that. And I really wish GIMP would let you turn that off. If you're on this thing and you press and hold the mouse down, it moves it into its own separate window. If that happens, just move it back up here like that. I really wish they would turn that off. It's really annoying. So anyway, for some other stuff, we can also add some you can add things like noise and blur. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of a good example. Let's make it swirly. Let's choose a color we don't have much of, green. And fill the background with that. Now let's add some noise, HSV noise right here. Can't really see much at the moment, but if you turn up saturation or value, you'll see all this grainy stuff in the background. When you're satisfied with whatever you got, go ahead and just click OK. Now we got some stuff on the thing, we can do some insane shit. I'm sorry I keep cursing. I really need to work on that. We can make linear motion blur. And we can choose the direction. If we point it up like this, it looks a bit like grass. But we aren't going to do that. We can make it blurry like this, so it looks like grass as well, or we could do this, something cool like this. Makes it look like he's falling in a vortex of green. So we're going to do that. And there's a cool little background if you want to just have some wacky backgrounds. So yeah, that's how you draw a little dragon. I hope this helps you out, and if you got any tips on how to improve the arms and other bad stuff like that, please feel free to tell me. I'm all ears. So yeah. I'll try and draw some more stuff in the future for you guys. Until then, have fun and watch out for this little underwear-clad demon dragon who will try to eat your soul when you're not looking. So see you later.